Ghana Police Command has arrested 3 people in possession of grenades. Security experts have warned that Ghana is not safe in the volatile West African region, especially after terrorist attacks in Burkina Faso and Cote d'Ivoire in the past few years. The police say they were tipped off and conducted a search of Agape Down, where they arrested 30-year-old Abdul Karim, a man they describe as a notorious land guard, an armed robber with 7 pieces of hand grenades. Abdul Karim then led the police to Qatar Hostel around Nyamiche, a suburb of Accra, where 31-year-old Ismail Ali Musa, who is believed to be a member of ISIS, was arrested. His Malian friend Osman Al-Hassan was also arrested. According to the police, the suspects have admitted that they had sold arms and ammunition to some Ghanaians already in the country.
You're still watching Morning Ride live on Metro TV. So you just watched a video where some persons were arrested. They had in possession grenades, and it brought about a lot of questions about the security in the country. One of the arrested people is allegedly has affiliation with a militant group ISIS. How true is that anyway? But we'll find out how safe the country is. A security consultant has joined me in the studio. Irbard Ibrahim is my guest. Hi, Irbard. Good to have you.
Lily, thank you so much for having me.
Great. Let's look at security in the country. Are we safe?
I think it will be premature to draw any conclusions. Interrogation is ongoing, and the 3 guys have been arraigned before a district court, and therefore we are trying as a country to connect the dots and find out whether this was an isolated case that has gone bad or is a part of a much bigger and more sophisticated plan to attack the Republic of Ghana. But by and large, I would say, even though the recent events are scary, I would urge Ghanaians not to fear. Fear and panic would not necessarily allay the impact of any attack if it ever happens. So therefore, we have a very diligent police force and a robust army on standby to keep the Republic of Ghana safe. The things you see circulated around the world now, these are not bombs. I would want to allay people's fears a bit. These are grenades, MK2 grenades. They can cause some casualties, but they are not bombs. So therefore, I believe we should give a thumbs up to our security agencies for apprehending these gentlemen before they made good on any intention they had. So if you ask me, Lily, I would say yes, we are living in extraordinary times, but compared to other countries within the sub-region, like a volatile Burkina Faso, La Cote d'Ivoire and Togo, Ghana is still a safe country.
Let's look at the issue of vigilante groups in the country. A lot of people have raised eyebrows as to the rising rate of lawlessness in the country.
I think the vigilantism, the issue of vigilantism is bad enough. Certainly during the transition period, we witnessed some of the invincible for Delta forces, manhandling the regional security coordinator for Ashanti region, and subsequently the posture of the judiciary in handing down what was seen as a lenient sentence. That would inadvertently give other people the appetite and impetus to want to perpetrate those acts. But by and large, these are young men that have pumped some iron. People we call macho men. They number only a few, maybe dozens or hundreds, and they are the enchanted party youth. And I believe if we rechannel that energy into other productive aspects of the economy, then we wouldn't have any such big problems. So therefore, vigilantism remains an issue. I remember in your encounter, veteran journalists with the president, issues were raised about the activities of such groups. But I believe in the past 1 or 2 months, there has been an eerie lull on that front. So therefore, it means as a country, we are making a lot of progress. And I don't like it when people, try to create a mountain out of a molehill, creating an impression that these are mercenaries or militants and all that. Yes, disenchanted after the sacrifice, the toil and sweat they did during the campaign, and they feel they should be lucratively employed. So we don't espouse what they do. We condemn these acts. They are errant acts of violence. We condemn them in the harshest of words. But I believe Ghana, on a scale of, in the larger scheme of things within the sub-region, regardless of vigilantism and the impounding of these grenades, remains quite a peaceful country.
The issue of the nomadic herdsmen has dominated the media landscape for some time now, and then the law on shoot to kill. You're one person who took particular interest in that.
Yeah, of course, Lily. You see, human beings and animals belong to the same category. In biology, you would say kingdom mammalia. And so when I prick you with a needle, the same blood that oozes from you is the blood that oozes from an animal.
Exactly.
The pain we feel when we are bipolar, we are happy in 1 second and then unhappy the other second. So the only thing that differentiates us from cattle or all other mammals is the faculty of thinking. If I were your neighbor and my dog bit your son, who would be brought to book? Is it the negligence of the owner of the dog, or you would kill the dog? And so therefore the animals are just benign and harmless. They don't go anywhere until they are chaperoned to those areas. So I think it's a bit unfair for Ghana's military to train their guns on innocent cattle. It's inhumane,
So
it's contrary
you
to
condemn
Ghana's
the
laws.
posture of the security agencies?
There needs to be a change in strategy. In fact, according to our laws, when you look at our criminal code, as amended in 2003, Act 646 even says animals have got rights. When you overburden an animal with a load, that is an act punishable by Ghana's law. How much more torturing animals? While they are in the stupor of death, they are being shot with machine guns. These acts are barbaric, they are un-Ghanaian, and they only soil Ghana's international reputation and need to end now.
How then do we deal with the herdsmen, the issue?
I'm particularly concerned about the incessant violence in Agogo. And I've told Ghanaian businessmen, without mentioning words, that cattle rearing in Agogo should not continue after this episode. But we want this episode to be as less bloody as possible. That is why we are imploring government, especially the military, to give a grace period of 1 month for all cattle rearers to evacuate their cattle completely from Agogo and its environs. Failure to do which, we may adopt radical measures like confiscating those cattle to use for school feeding, or confiscating them to feed our prisoners, or confiscating them to supply food to hospitals. But killing them is not an option. We are a very conservative religious society. All our scriptures are against brutality towards animals. And again, there are ethnic groups in Ghana that have totems. Animals we hold as sacred and therefore need not to be harmed. So therefore I think it's so un-Ghanaian and barbaric for such an order to be given. And the footage we are seeing from the area and anecdotes of people who were directly affected by the brutality. Animals are encircled. In their bewilderment, they are shot firing squad style. That is so barbaric and against international law on the rights of animals and should stop now.
All right. Thank you very much, Irbard Ibrahim. It's been great having you. Thank you for always answering our call whenever we do. We've been talking about the security in the country, and he has allayed fears that indeed the country is safe for everybody.